All right. Looks like we are live. Looks like it. We live? Can you hear me? Can you see me? I think we can. Don't usually start off these things with a little song or on my guitar, but a couple people yesterday were asking for some guitar, so you know what? Why not? Give the people what they want. Give the people what they want. Start off with just a little song here. Take it as you can. If you like it, great. If you don't, I make no apologies. All right, so, little song. This is not an original. Don't wanna be an actor, pretending on the stage. Don't wanna be a writer, with my thoughts out on the page. Got my construction hat on, I'm going to work. Don't wanna be a farmer, working in the sun. Don't wanna be an outlaw, always on the run. Whoops. A dream, it's true. I'd see it through if I could be wasting my time with you. Don't wanna be a climber, reaching for the top. Don't wanna be anything where I don't know when to stop. Don't wanna be a climber, reaching for the top. I've got the words to the song. A dream is true, but I'd see it through if I could be wasting my time with you. So if I'm inside your head, don't believe what you might have read. You'll see what I might have said. To hear it, come waste your time with me. Come waste your time with me. All right. That was just for fun. Okay. We're not wasting time here, though. We're having fun. That's what we're doing. So here's what I did. If you were with us yesterday, at the end, I asked if anybody had any suggestions as to some things that you'd like to see, like to know about. And, I got some really, really good ones. So what I'm going to do today is just go through some of the things that you guys asked. One of them was guitar. So, hey, why not? We did the guitar thing. So let me pull this up here, and we'll go from there. One of the things I'm going to start off with is, I believe Aiden asked me about something to do with ice hockey. So I'm going to make it happen. We're going to talk about some ice hockey stuff. Why you skate and how you skate, what makes you skate, and when ice hockey players check each other, what's that actually really like? It's really crazy, sciencey stuff. So, first of all, if you've ice skated before, you've noticed that as soon as those skates hit the ice, you kind of like take off. Well, let me explain why when you ice skate, it actually glides across the ice. So here's what it is. Let's take these ice skates. I'm going to put on my screen here in just a second if it decides to load. There's a process in science called regelation or regelation. And what it sounds like, regelation. And it actually is ice melting on contact and then refreezing immediately. So when these skates right here, when you put these onto the ice and you press down, you're immediately putting pressure on the ice. And the ice right below your feet where your blades are, immediately because of the pressure melts just a little teeny tiny bit, causing that really slick surface underneath. And when you push off and you skate through the ice actually refreezes immediately after you. So that's why there's not trails of water behind your skates when you are out there skating. Same reason when the puck slides across the ice. The puck has pressure on the ice. That little bit of pressure melts the ice immediately, regulation, and it slides across the ice and refreezes. And you can actually see that with a piece of ice and a string. Let me get this on here so you can see what I'm doing here. But if I take this now, I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger. This might take a couple minutes, but I have more hockey stuff to talk about. But if I take this little piece of ice that I have right here, and I take a string, and if I take this string and I put some pressure on the ice, oops, I broke the ice in half. Oh well, I'll just use this one. If I take this string right here, and if I leave it like this for a couple minutes and put pressure on it, what's going to happen is I'm not changing the heat of the string. There's a little bit of conduction going on right here, but not a whole lot. My thumbs have nothing to do with this. But the longer I press down and put this pressure on the ice cube with the string actually melts the ice because of the pressure, because of regulation. And if you hold it there long enough, you can actually get the string to melt all the way through the ice cube. It's a way you can actually like cut ice cubes without a knife. And if you just do it for a little bit, you can actually pick it up and the ice cube is actually stuck to the string. It's not magically stuck there. What happens is that water that melted immediately refreezes, and it's going to hold the string to the ice. It's called regulation. It's the same reason why your ice skates slide across the ice when you're skating. So, let me tell you a little bit more about hockey. And this is kind of a cool part. Aiden, I did this one for you because you're the one who asked me about that. But, oh man, I would take off this hard hat, but I got a fluff head of hair under there, and it's just not going to do really well. So we're just going to leave that right there. Okay, so remember, this experiment over here, it's ice. That's all you need is an ice and a string. And then this. I want to talk about checking. When you check somebody in hockey, when two people run into each other trying to get that puck. I want to just give you a little idea of the forces that are built up and how much power is actually combined when two people run into each other to get a puck. So let me just use this little calculator here. There's a lot of math that goes behind this, all right, which we haven't quite gotten to yet. We're not quite that advanced math, but I can show you the concepts. It's the same thing. I want to pick a player from the Eastern Conference. These are some old school players right here. Eric Lindros, big dude, number 88. Played for the Flyers and for the Rangers. Player number 2, my all-time hero, the guy I looked up to most when I was a kid. His name is Mark Messier, number 11. He's in the Western Conference on this, but he played for the Rangers back in 1994 when they won the Stanley Cup. Awesome guy. So if I put these in here, and Eric Lindros weighs 230 pounds, and let's just say he's skating for a puck at 15 miles an hour. Okay, that's pretty quick. He can skate a lot faster than that. But let's say Mark Messier is 205 pounds. He's going in at 22 miles per hour. When these two guys run into each other, I'm going to calculate the force here, and it'll tell you down here what it is going to be. The amount of energy produced from that collision when these two guys run into each other is 6,714 joules. Joules is a measure of energy. You'll learn that in 8th grade. But that collision produces enough energy to shoot a puck. If you could put that same amount of energy behind a hockey stick to shoot that puck, it would shoot at 66,975 feet. That's like 12 miles from a puck, from two guys running into each other. That's how much force is built up. It would initially be moving at 443 miles per hour. The puck would be if you could hit that puck. And a stopping force of 728 pounds would be needed to slow it down. So the goalie would need to weigh 728 pounds to stop that puck from going in the net. Okay? And it's enough energy that's built up to power a light bulb for 111 seconds. So almost 2 minutes to power a light bulb. All right? So there's my little science on the hockey that we were asking for. Let me see if anybody has any questions here while we're going along. I'm going to check the stream. All right. I'm assuming that must be Colin. I love hockey. All right. You never watched hockey? You should try it. It's a good sport. It's really fast. Really fast. All right. Now, let me see what else I had on my list for today. Today's list, I had a couple other questions. Why is there no air in space? And that was from Torin yesterday. Why is there no air in space? Well, it's a very simple reason why. Gravity. Okay? We have air in our atmosphere. All right? Our air in our atmosphere is held here by gravity. Gravity keeps it around the Earth. All right? But the further you get away from a body, a celestial body in space, and we know this from our class, the more gravity decreases, the force of gravity decreases. So if you're out there in space in between planets or in between stars or in between other bodies, there's no gravity, which means that the air in that area was pulled in by some other body and it's now around somewhere else. You need to have gravity to hold on to air. If there's nothing there, there's no gravity, so therefore the air's not going to be there either. And the weird part about that is that in space, because there's no air molecules, there's some air molecules, but not enough to breathe or anything like that. Because it's a vacuum like that, it's completely silent in space. You could be a couple feet away from somebody and yelling at them and they would not be able to hear you. Okay? No mention about what space smells like, but for as far as sound, it's a vacuum. You can't hear anything in there. Oh, I see Sophie Livingston's here. Hi, Sophie. We got some new people coming in, which is awesome. That makes me really happy. We got 33 people in here right now. That's great. So that's why there's no air in space. There's no air in space because there's no gravity to hold on to that air. Okay? Now, by the way, the hockey stuff that I just went through, if you want to take a look at that, and go to the website, put your own weight in, see what you and your friends would produce if you were going to be running into each other, checking each other in hockey. In Schoology, there is the ice hockey checking calculator. That'll take you right out there to the site that I was just on. What else do we have here? Oh, this is funny. Yesterday, when I was talking about the egg drop challenge, if you want to participate in the egg drop challenge, you guys are really smart. You know how to circumvent the system, because I can't tell you, I went back through the chat yesterday to check things out. I can't tell you how many of you asked me if you can hard boil your egg first so that it didn't break. Brilliant. But no, you got to use a raw egg. Okay, and it's in the March 19th folder. If you weren't here yesterday, there's an egg drop activity. We would like to see if people want to create a contraption to hold onto an egg and drop it from your ceiling, probably about 8 feet or so. Drop it, see if the egg survives, if it cracks or not. And then if it doesn't, we make changes. We go back and look at our plan and we rebuild again. And if you want to submit a document to me with some pictures in there or even a video, you can do that right here through Schoology. And if there's anybody that's new and needs access to this, shoot me an email and I will get you the access code to get in here. Also, for those people who have not been here yet, every other day, I had a writing prompt up there for you to take a look at if you want to, for something to do. And I've got some really, really awesome writing submissions so far. They're super creative. So yesterday's was, your prompt was, or your subject was, a hike through the woods. And then here are the words I wanted you to try to use in that writing. It was leprechaun, fireball, Snoop. Nobody used Snoop Dogg, which was surprising. Wart, backpack, practice, stomachache, collar, like the collar on your shirt, and snake. All right? So, a couple more things for today. Torin yesterday had asked me about the Salt Lake City earthquake. Let me just show you a little bit about earthquakes here. We are going to talk about earthquakes when we get back, but I just want to give you a general idea of what happened in Salt Lake City. The earth, the crust of the earth, the solid top part of the earth where we live, is not one big smooth rock. It's cracked, all right? It's cracked into big, ginormous plates. And these plates move around on the earth really slowly because of what's convection going on in the mantle underneath them, the magma underneath them. They move really slowly across the earth. Well, they're not super smooth, and they get stuck. Well, when they get stuck, it doesn't turn off the whole system of movement. It builds up pressure and stress. And what happened in Salt Lake City is, you can see in this diagram right here, here's the cracks in the crust. Well, they're moving different directions because of convection going on underneath them. So what happened was, the one right here is trying to slide down, this one's trying to slide up and move, and they got stuck. Well, the pressure's not going to stop building up. And it just happened the other day. What happened was the pressure was relieved because those rocks cracked and it went like that. And when the earth does this very, very quickly, we get a ton of vibrations sent out. They're called seismic waves. All right? They fly out from where that crack happened. And if the deeper the crack in the earth, or the deeper where it breaks, usually the less powerful the earthquake is that we'll feel. The closer it is to the surface, the more shaking there will be. All right, there's 3 kinds of waves. They're called primary waves, secondary waves, and surface waves. We'll get to those later. But the surface waves are what cause the damage and the shaking on the Earth's surface. And it was a 5.7 magnitude. That's pretty strong. The scale that you measure earthquakes on goes up to 10. This was a 5.7. You think, oh, it's only about half of it. It goes up exponentially. So when we get back, we'll talk about how the Richter scale is what it's called, how it works. And in fact, I have some friends who live out in Salt Lake City, and because of the earthquake, they've lost power, and their power has not been turned back on yet. So kind of feeling for them right now. So let me check my stream here for questions or anything like that so far. You guys seem to be having some, how are students submitting their questions? That's a great question, Mrs. Prime. They'll ask them on here, or I've had a couple of people shoot me some questions through my school email, things like that. So if you can see me, that's awesome. So yeah, it looks like you guys are having a great time chatting with each other too. It makes me happy you're all coming together for this kind of thing. So that's awesome. So let's see. I'm going to leave it right here. We had the earthquake talk. Let me see if there's anything else on my list for today. I'm going to save that for next week. All right, playing guitar. Oh, there's something in our Schoology folder for playing guitar. A couple of you were sitting in on our guitar seminar last week or 2 weeks ago, and somebody had asked about playing bar chords. Let me just show you what I did for bar chords for those of you who are interested in having a guitar at home and you'd like to start thinking about that. I know it's like a multi-purpose show. We do it all here. We do it all. All right. So today in here, there's the bar chord chart, which looks like this. It's not as difficult as it looks. If you've played any little bit of guitar, here's what it's going to look like. So what this is see the positions up here? Those are the position you start at for a bar chord. So that says E chord position. So you want to make an E chord on your guitar. That looks like this. Okay? Looks like this. Now, the black solid bars are this finger right here. This is what you call the bar chord. So and then the letter above where the bar is the chord you're playing. So if you want to play an F, you put your bar on the first fret and you squeeze it, and that would be an F. And then a G would be on the third fret. And then we go to an A. Okay? And then a B. And then a C. Notice this stays the same the whole way. Now there's an E minor chord position down here. Changes everything to minor. So instead of playing an E up here, you just play an E minor. You can do it like this. Put your fingers here. Changes the chord. So there's a chord chart right there if you want to play around with that. Again, multi-purpose show. That's what we do. We aim to please. So, as far as my science stuff for the day, I'm done with that. So let's think here. How many of you, is anybody doing the tornado-proof structure project? If you are, let me know. I haven't got any submissions of that. I got one submission of that. They did all the research for it, and I read over that. It was awesome, good stuff. Let's learn how do volcanoes erupt. Okay, that's kind of stuff we're going to be doing when we get back. I can briefly talk about volcanoes on Monday. That's not a big deal. All right. Wonder what else we got going on here. The El Reno tornado, I see. Is he teaching us how to play guitar? Just a couple questions. Like I said, multi-purpose. Can we learn about what makes a volcano go dormant? That's a good question, Torin. You've come up with some really good ones. I like that. People have also been asking me about the severe weather project, and is that due now? Nothing is due now. All right? Like I've said multiple times, whatever I put out there on Schoology, completely optional. If you're looking for some fun science stuff to do, the tornado proof structure project is fun. You can do that with your family. The egg drop is fun. Like I said, don't take all your mom and dad's eggs for omelets tomorrow morning. It is the weekend. I was at the grocery store today. They did have plenty of eggs, though, so that part was good. All right. All right. Let's see. Can we talk about how the sunrise and sunset are different colors? Yeah, that's a great question. I will have to come up with some diagrams for that because that's an awesome question. I believe that's Yushma that asked that question. Really cool. I'll put that on my list of things to do for Monday. I also have on for Monday, I want to talk about how you can be looking up at the stars like we talked about, and then that star might not even be there anymore. It could have disappeared years and years and years ago, but we can still see it. That's one other thing I want to talk about on Monday. So sunset colors, that's cool. I like that one. Put that on there. Beast Mode Ralph is looking for a shout out. You got it. You got it. All right. Well, like all good things, everything must come to an end. All right. I'm going to have to go. I got some things I got to get ready for my weekend. You know, my weekend of staying in my house. I've got to get dinner ready, get dinner going. I like to spend a lot of time doing that. Adam, you got a shout out too. You asked for it, you got it. All right. I'm so happy there's so many people here. This is great. This is great. So yeah, take a look at the, do the little ice experiment. Talk about regulation tonight. We're not going to be doing any ice skating anytime soon, but that's okay. That's all right. Let's make this a little bit bigger here. All right. All right, well, listen, guys and girls, and whoever else is here. I hope you have an awesome weekend. I will be back Monday at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock it'll be. And I have a couple topics. Adventures in Gaming. Anthony, here's your shout out. Adventures in Gaming, huh? Cool. Torrin's got a shout out today. There's some names in here I don't recognize. Must be some parent accounts, but that's cool. I'm so glad everybody came back. We're up to 30 again. We had 35 yesterday. Amazing. So yeah, like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. Send them to me an email. I believe you can also submit some more questions through this chat for the next couple minutes before I head on out of here. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Stay safe. Have fun this weekend. Make the best of this situation. That's what we all got to do. We all got to do it. We're in it together, folks. All right? So have fun, and I'll see you guys on Monday. All right? Thanks again, guys. Aiden, you got a shout out already, man. Yeah, but you can have another one. See you guys.